Hi there, I'm Alex from Boldly. Now, you as a mentee get only a couple of very precious hours in that meeting room in front of your mentor throughout the year. And yet there's so much value in this relationship that's happening even outside the meetings. In between those sessions, you need to be able to take the actions that you've agreed on, do some experiments and get some experience to really make sure that you're compounding the development that you and your mentor are speaking about. So action orientation, it could come down to, am I still motivated about that thing that my mentor and I discussed? Am I maybe being a bit of a perfectionist? I don't want to jump in and give it a try until I've really nutted it out. You might be overthinking it. So, analysis paralysis. There's all these things that can confound and stop you from actually taking action. When you step out of the room and maybe you and your mentor have agreed that you need to build on your network. So your action steps were to go away, review LinkedIn, think about your immediate circle, speak with your boss, and really build out a list of people you should be connecting with. But you get out of that room and you realize I'm lacking confidence, or maybe I'm a bit confused about what the goal and the purpose of doing this was again. So while action orientation sounds so simple, it gets confounded as soon as we step out into the world and we aren't directly in front of that mentor. So there's a few things you can do when that happens. First of all, make sure that you make notes in your mentoring session. Really clarify what is it I'm trying to achieve and double check that with your mentor. Even email them afterwards to say, these are the steps that I'm going to go away and do. Is there anything that you'd want to, suggest or add to? What that does is it makes sure that you've calibrated and confirmed on your intentions to take action. It creates a little bit of an accountability relationship so that they understand next time we meet, I can ask you if this happened. And it really helps you to have a record of that moment, because you might have a lot of thoughts going through your mind. Have a record of what you've agreed on your side to take away and do. The next thing that you can do is to really make sure that you focus on behaviors, okay? Not just prioritizing and not just making lists of those things that you need to do. Although the goal setting is important, you really need to make sure that you're moving forward to act, hence action orientation. So when you can see your to-do list, really give yourself a tick when there's been a behavior, when you've gone out of your way and you've said, okay, I've not only done my LinkedIn search, but I've actually reached out to 6 people. Or I've not only spoken to my boss about who I should be connecting with, but I've also drafted that email. So when you can really say to yourself truthfully that you've taken a behavior, you've seen yourself act, that's when you can confidently say, okay, I'm moving myself forward. Even if it's not clear as to why or what the outcome is yet, I'm actually getting some muscle memory and I'm showing myself that I'm acting towards this outcome. The third thing you need to do is to think about your rewards, okay? If you're the kind of person who's going to follow through, make the effort to make these goals with your mentor, to structure them and to come back and confirm them, then you are the kind of person who deserves, a little bit of a personal pat on the back once you've actually done those things. So, we can't all go and buy something or eat something or, have a party every time we achieve and take an action. But simple noted, thought in your mind to say, recognize myself. I set out to do that and I did it. That kind of personal reward system is just as valuable and as powerful. So a few things to consider with regards to overusing action orientation, because we can sometimes get a bit of a trigger finger or act before we think. Okay, so it's a real balancing act. But the thing that can help here is to run your actions by someone else, maybe a buddy, your mentor, someone in your personal professional circle, just to make sure that you're reconfirming, at least at the beginning, that you're acting in the most appropriate way. And of course, reconsider, am I okay in a bit high gear at the moment? Am I starting to trend over into like workaholic or action junkie, right? There needs to be this balancing act of making sure that you're taking actions to get the muscle memory and to work towards your goals, but that you're not just, aimlessly ticking lists. I know it sounds like a balance, but you'll find the sweet spot in the middle there. So try to learn from your failures as well. If for whatever reason you come out of that meeting with your mentor and you agree to some really tidy actions around building your network and you don't go ahead and take those actions, and it's not because you're a workaholic and it's not because you didn't act, there's something that's holding you back in between, then come back, rediscuss that with your mentor. Look, here's the things that I think were holding me back from taking action on those things that we agreed last time. If it is that lack of confidence, if it is that lack of goal clarity, then work through those things with your mentor. That's what they're there to help you understand and to continue building those mental models through your career. So action orientation, just enough, not too much. Make sure you're constantly reflecting, and reach out to Boldly if you need support to get the mix right. Thanks.